The next element we're going to do is going to be the value and form layer. Now you're going to remember that form simply means that it is an object that has width, height, and depth. That means it's three-dimensional. Now, this image is not a three-dimensional image, but the way we look at it, we can see three dimensions because we can see value. Now, the reason that we've put these together is because when there is a form, there is always value as well, because the light source, which I'm assuming is up here, casts shadows down below the bird, below the ladder that it's sitting on, and so that's why they are together. Now, for this particular object, we are still going to use the brush tool. It's still going to be black, and we are going to set the opacity this time to 50%. The opacity is up here, whoops, in our controls, and I'll simply slide that down to 50%. So where this was more of a solid line, this is going to be a little bit softer. We're going to use things like cross-hatching, which is lines going both vertically and horizontally, so that we can show where shading would occur, and that gives it some value. So we'll start by creating a new layer, and this is going to be called value and form, and it is a good habit to get into to lock layers that you're no longer using. So I went ahead and locked my line layer, and that way I can only work on my value and form. We're still going to be using the graphics tablet and pen, and the first thing that you're going to start off with again is tracing the bird. Okay, so we want to, and this is going to give you good practice with using the pen and the brush tool, and just work on some manual dexterity with this tool. Okay, so just like we did last time, we'll start by giving the entire bird as well as its ladder a complete outline. Okay, and then you'll come in after you give it the complete outline and you'll fill in some details, such as where the feathers change colors, where you can see, oops, that was a bad one. Command Z will undo the very last step as well. The feathers, where they change colors, where you can see that one definitely stops and another starts. That's a good place to put in some line. Okay, and then we start giving the value to it, okay, which gives it the form. So go ahead and press pause. Remember to hide the original layer so that you can see your work in progress, and then you can see, you come back and look at mine and how I'm working on it and see if you're moving in the right direction. Okay, so when you're done, obviously you want to hide the original, compare yours, look at mine. Notice that on mine, obviously I have a similar outline and detail as I did in the line drawing, but I've also included some shading and cross-hatching. So if you look here, I've got some cross-hatching, I've got some shadows that go up and down as well as across, and then as they get a little bit lighter, it gets, the pen gets lighter. Down here I have some cross-hatching that's right under the ladder, and again I have a little bit lighter underneath, and then a little bit of cross-hatching here. Now, in addition, on the feathers here, and let me turn back on the original so you can see, Where there was some more detail and where you could see like the feathers splitting, I went ahead and did a little more, added a little more value to that as well to give it that three-dimensional form that it requires. So if you look and compare the two of yours, you can see that one is simply a line drawing and it is two-dimensional. However, this one with the extra shading does give it a three-dimensional feel. So at this point, you should go ahead and save. Because you've already saved it once, all you have to do is Command S and it will save over it again. And actually, let me point out, if I do that, look here on this tab where my mouse is. See this little asterisk? This asterisk means that you have made a change to it and have not yet saved it. So now if I do a Command S, you can see where it says saving and now the asterisk is gone. Okay, so we'll go ahead and lock this value and form layer when you are done with it, and then we'll move on to the next video and the next element.